He was not born into power nor raised among kings. He was a youth from Judah, taken from his home when Babylon's armies tore through Jerusalem. Carried into exile, stripped of freedom, he stood in the shadow of an empire that seemed unshakable. And yet through this young captive, God revealed his sovereignty over nations and rulers. When Babylon's grandeur towered like a mountain and idols demanded worship, hope seemed all but lost for God's exiled people. But in the midst of golden palaces and fiery furnaces, God raised up Daniel, a man whose wisdom outshone magicians, whose prayers reached heaven, whose faith silenced lions. He was not only a prophet but an intercessor, standing in the gap for his people. This is the story of devotion against compromise, of courage in the face of death, and of the unstoppable kingdom of God breaking through earthly courts. A story in which the glory would not go to Babylon nor to Persia, but to the God who rules forever. Babylon was vast and fierce. Its walls rose high, its temples glittered with gold. Its gardens hung with green life above desert sands. King Nebuchadnezzar reigned from a throne feared across nations. To this palace, Daniel and his friends Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah were brought. They were trained in the wisdom of Babylon, fed from the king's table. But Daniel resolved not to defile himself with food sacrificed to idols. Quietly, he asked for vegetables and water instead. It seemed small, but it was a declaration. His loyalty belonged to God alone. And God honored him, granting favor and wisdom 10 times greater than all Babylon's wise men. Years passed. Nebuchadnezzar dreamed a dream none could interpret. Furious, he ordered all wise men slain. But Daniel sought God in prayer, interceding with his friends through the night, and the mystery was revealed. Standing before the throne, Daniel declared, "There is a God in heaven who reveals mysteries." The dream spoke of kingdoms that would rise and fall: Babylon, Persia, Greece, Rome. But in the end, a stone not cut by human hands would strike and grow into a mountain filling the earth, God's eternal kingdom. Nebuchadnezzar bowed before Daniel, confessing, "Truly your God is the God of gods." Yet Babylon's pride soon returned. A golden image was raised 90 feet high, and all were commanded to bow. Daniel's friends refused. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were cast into a blazing furnace. The flames roared, but inside the fire they walked unbound. A fourth figure appeared with them, radiant, divine. They emerged untouched, and the empire trembled. Nebuchadnezzar decreed that no one speak against their God. Still, kingdoms rise and fall. Belshazzar, Nebuchadnezzar's grandson, mocked the Most High, drinking from the temple's sacred cups. Suddenly a hand appeared, writing on the wall, "Mene, Mene, Tekel, Parsin." None could read it until Daniel came. With steady voice he declared,
God has numbered your days, you have been weighed and found wanting. Your kingdom is given to the Medes and Persians.
That very night Babylon fell. Under King Darius, Daniel's faith was tested again. Jealous officials, unable to find fault in him, trapped him through his prayers. A law was signed. No one could pray to any god or man but Darius. Yet Daniel, as always, opened his window toward Jerusalem and prayed 3 times a day. He interceded for his people and sought God without fear. The trap was sprung. Daniel was cast into the lion's den. The stone rolled across its mouth. That night the king could not sleep. At dawn he rushed and cried, "Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God rescued you?" From the shadows came the calm reply,
My God sent his angel and shut the mouths of the lions.
Daniel emerged unharmed, for he had trusted in God. Darius rejoiced and sent a decree declaring Daniel's God to be the living God who endures forever. Through visions and prayers, fiery furnaces, and lions' dens, Daniel's life testified to God's sovereignty. Kings came and went. Babylon fell to Persia, Persia to Greece, Greece to Rome. But God's kingdom stands forever. Daniel's story is not about earthly power, but about prayer, faith, and obedience. As an intercessor, he prayed for Israel's restoration, confessing their sins and pleading for mercy. God heard, sending answers through angels and visions of what was to come. He reminds us that even in exile, even under rulers who oppose God, his hand directs history. Thrones topple, empires crumble, but God's kingdom endures. The question remains, when the world commands you to bow, when culture demands your silence, will you, like Daniel, kneel in prayer? Will you stand when others fall? For who knows but that you too have been placed in your moment, your position, your influence, for such a time as this.
Check out our other videos and leave a comment below. We can't wait to hear what you think. Thanks for watching.